Each week when Supernatural's done, make sure you know what went on. Listen to Heather and Eric, get the salt nose for sure.
Ouija boards. Before we actually get into...
Are you still on the Ouija boards?
Well, before we get into this week's rewatch episode, which is Season 1, Episode 5, Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
Before we get into it, we got to keep the discussion going that we left off with last episode about Ouija boards.
Why?
Because...
What is your obsession with Ouija boards?
I have gotten already 2 messages from people telling us about their Ouija board experiences.
Ooh.
So people
Really?
seem to be interested about their or our discussion about Ouija boards.
You know what was really funny? I just got emailed a trailer for the new Ouija board movie.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it part 2 of the Ouija board movie?
I think
or
so.
Ouija?
Ouija, yeah. It's like Ouija and then has some words after it. I forget what it was called. I sent you the link.
Yeah, because part 1 was
Don't
pretty...
you worry. I sent you the link.
I saw it. I didn't get a chance to actually look at the was it a trailer?
Yeah, a
Yeah.
new trailer was just released today.
I didn't have a chance to look at the trailer, but I did see you sent that to me.
So what are the stories?
Well, basically, there's people recounting or telling me their stories. I don't have them in front of me, but I think
Poor
we
planning.
should do... Well, what we should do is a little 10-minute segment on the stories or people recounting their stories about Ouija boards. And if you are listening and you have an experience or something that happened to somebody you know or to yourself, message us. You could either do it on Facebook, Gmail at Get the Salt Pod.
Get the Salt Pod.
So Get the Salt Pod at gmail.com.
Uh-huh.
Facebook, you could comment on this YouTube video. Contact us somehow and get us your stories about Ouija boards, because we'll do a little 10-minute, 15-minute segment on it and talk about other people's experiences, which people seem to be really interested in, which I am totally freaked out about, but just wanted to mention that before we got started on this episode.
I actually did look around my house to see if I still have my old Ouija board, but I don't.
Good.
Okay. I'm picking one up at Target on my way home today.
No, don't bring it here, please.
How can anything sold in Target be evil, though? It's Target.
I mean, no. Do not bring it here, please. So
I'm going to hide one somewhere in your office and you'll never know.
well, this episode, my name's Eric. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Heather. And I love Eric's fear of Ouija boards.
Yeah, well, now you know how to scare the shit out of me. So this episode was Bloody Mary, all about Bloody Mary.
Yep. It first aired on October 11th, 2005. It was directed by Peter Ellis and written by Ron Milbauer and Terry Hughes.
Well, question number 1, did you ever play Bloody Mary? Did you ever do the...
Yeah.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Wow, you got some major balls. You're playing with Ouija boards, doing Bloody Mary.
Yeah. Bloody Mary, let's see. I have...
Technically, you should be dead by now.
There are a lot of reasons I should be dead right now, none of them occult related. Let's see. I have one specific... I think I've done it more than once, but I have one specific memory of it when I lived... Where was that? That was in North Palm. And I lived in North Palm Beach, Florida. So I would have been... I lived there in 3rd grade and half of 4th. So I was between 8 and 9. And I specifically remember doing it in our bathroom there. Nothing happened.
Yeah, I mean...
Over 20 years go by and I'm still good.
Well...
My eyes are still intact. I still have 20/20 vision.
Well, I mean, this episode, this Bloody Mary is, I guess, a version of what Bloody Mary originally was, because I actually had to look it up on Wikipedia, where the origin of Bloody Mary came from. And originally it was a folklore type tale where people would say the name Bloody Mary into a mirror, and a woman, it was either a ghost, an apparition, a spirit, something would appear to them in the mirror, and it would tell their future.
Oh.
And typically it was done in a group environment, almost like a seance type environment.
The scratch your eyes out part, like, I think I knew to say Bloody Mary 3 times in a mirror with the door closed and the lights off, but I don't think I knew what I expected Bloody Mary to do if she showed up.
Well, if she showed up, what was going to happen afterwards?
Yeah, I don't know.
You'd be like, hey, what's up? And she'd be like, what's up?
The scratch your eyes out part that was very prevalent in this episode, I don't think I had ever heard that before this episode.
Well, I've seen some other movies that had a Bloody Mary type ghosts, and one of them was that she was she was supposedly a witch, but she was just like a nice lady, and she would collect kids' teeth that their teeth had fallen out and give them a piece of candy or something like that as a gift. And then the townspeople thought that she was a witch. They burned her alive, and then anybody that would say bloody, and her name was Mary, and anybody that would say Bloody Mary in the mirror 3 times, she would come and kill you because she hated everybody from that town for killing her back in the day. And there's apparently a lot of different variations on the story.
Look, I don't blame her for wanting revenge, man.
Well, in this particular one, she has her own style of what she does and why she does it.
Yeah, they kind of brought in a little flavor of The Ring. They brought in some Bloody Mary. They brought in some witch. She was mentioned as a witch, too.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff brought in.
Well, we'll get into that later. So, so we moved on from the Ouija board.
Okay.
Not yet.
Good. Well,
I can't wait to actually talk more about the Ouija board. I really like that.
It just makes me laugh how much you're obsessed with it.
Well, this episode opens up with some kids doing like a truth or dare type situation. Did you ever do truth and dare?
Yeah, absolutely. I used to love playing truth and or dare. What you do is you have a bunch of pieces of paper and you kind of like you write out questions and dares on them, and you say it's truth and or dare. You don't get to pick whether it's truth or dare. You just reach in and pick out, and whether it's a dare or it's a truth question you had to do or answer.
See,
I've got some great pictures from high school sleepovers from that game.
See, the thing is that I would always do truth because all of our friends would always, the dare was always go outside and run naked. It was always get naked.
Oh.
It was never anything like interesting.
See, with girls, it's always like, oh, kiss somebody.
Another girl?
No, not usually. It would be like,
or another
like
boy?
try to find the boy you had a crush on and like make
at
fun of you or
school
something.
the next day or that day that
I don't know.
or
I
the
never
party
really
or
I never really picked truth.
no, ours
So.
ours were always at a party, and the dare was always run outside butt naked.
Yeah.
Some people obviously did it, but that was not my thing.
Now, what was my dare? There was something about climbing up a tree in the neighbor's yard. We had really stupid ones, and a lot of them. I remember one was like, oh, truth or dare? Truth. Can you say the Pledge of Allegiance while standing on your head? No. Well, prove it. So you would have to try and do it anyway.
That's
I
fun.
have a great fucking picture of my friend trying to do a headstand in my bedroom. Oh God.
Well,
Anyway.
these kids are playing
Truth or
truth and
dare,
dare,
yay.
and one of them gets dared to go say Bloody Mary in the bathroom 3 times and see what happens. She does it. Nothing happens. So you're like, oh, okay, well, nothing happened. Later
course nothing
on,
happened.
her dad walks into the bathroom and is staring into the
Well,
mirror.
Her dad walks through the house past 37 mirrors they have hanging on in their hallway. Is that just me? Is it normal to have that many mirrors hanging up in your house?
Well,
Like,
I think
I've got
if-
mirrors in my bathrooms and on my by my closets.
Well, I think if you're a little bit more wealthy and maybe have a bigger home, you can have more mirrors in your home. But like for me, for example, I have a small little house. There's not enough room on the walls. There's not enough wall space to
Yeah.
put that many mirrors. But I guess if you have a bigger house, you
I
got
have-
more space.
I have plenty of wall space. In fact, I was just talking to you earlier today about I have a blank space that I'm looking for a piece of artwork for. I'm trying to find something to put in that blank space. I'm not considering a mirror at all.
Well,
Why would I put a mirror there?
They did have an enormous amount of.
He walked through 3 feet of hallway and past 6 mirrors. Like, what the fuck?
Well, he's then staring into the mirror. He starts getting the leaky, the bloody eyeball effect, and the daughter finds him, Donna, in a giant pool of blood. I didn't think that you could have that much blood from
How
having
many-
your eyeballs. I guess they melted or something.
Well, how much blood is in the human body?
Uh,
And you know what? Blood looks like more than it actually is, I think.
yeah, the thickness of it, maybe, or I don't know.
Maybe it had congealed by the time she got home. Made it
Maybe.
look thicker. I don't know. I'm no biologist.
Well, the daughter finds the dad's body and screams, and then we get the next scene is actually a scene of Sam having the dream of Jess,
yes, the just dying nightmare.
which he's been having for a while now. He's being afflicted with all these
See,
dreams.
that I find to be very understandable.
Well, yeah, I mean, but it is a crazy. I mean, yes, it's a very traumatic event, but he's having it every single night. He can't go to sleep without him having this dream.
Oh, because it wouldn't stick
Well,
with you?
It would
It
stick
hasn't
with
been
you.
that long.
It's been a while, but I at this point I feel like these dreams, and I can't remember if this is actually the reason why, that the yellow-eyed demon is planting these dreams in Sam's head.
Yes, spoiler alert, as if you are just watching Supernatural for the first time, we have watched all the way through the end of season 11, so we may mention things that occur in the future.
Right.
So, sorry, spoiler alert, don't listen to the podcast if you're watching Supernatural for the first time.
Well, I was told by some moderators on Reddit that if we're rewatching the first season, that we shouldn't have to say spoilers because
the first season is so old, but we're not.
And then I mentioned the fact that we're talking also about the current episodes.
Right. We do kind of mention things that happen further along in the series. So I want to warn people as much as possible. I don't want to accidentally spoil someone.
Well, I told him to jog off, and he never responded back.
Well, that's certainly not nice. Jog off. You know what? To me, jogging is more offensive than saying fuck off.
Yeah, jog off, man.
Jog. I don't want to jog.
So they find the story in, what was it, a newspaper? Yeah, they find the story in a newspaper. Sam and Dean go and explore. They do some prodding and questioning. Really nothing. Well, they find out that the younger daughter had been playing Bloody Mary.
Mm-hmm. I liked it. Yeah, it was real nice of them to just walk into that wake or a funeral. Not a funeral, but like a wake, I guess it is.
It's really weird because no one questions them. I mean, they've never seen these people in their life, and the fact that they always are getting caught with their lies. Where he says, "We worked with your dad," and it turns out he's a day trader. He can't.
Yeah, he worked alone.
He worked alone. It's just they get caught with all these lies all the time. But
they're really not good at it at this point in the series. Later on in the series, they get better, but they're really not good at pretending to be whatever it is they want to be at the time.
Yeah, so they go out and try to find out, if any Bloody Mary has existed or been murdered or killed or strange deaths in the area. And they really don't find anything. So their next step is to actually go and visit the room where actually, I'm sorry. I'm like skipping way ahead of here. So after they do the questions, they're doing some research. They don't find anything. They don't really get any leads. And Jill, a friend of what was this girl's name? Not Donna, the blonde.
The blonde was Charlie.
Charlie, a friend of Charlie.
So Donna was the daughter. Charlie and Jill are her friends.
Yeah. So Charlie is on the phone with Jill and is talking about the craziness that you think something really weird happened to Donna's dad, and she's like, no, can't believe you believe in these little kid things. And Jill's side. Then she says, well, I'm gonna go into the mirror right now and I'm gonna say Bloody Mary. She's like, no, don't do it, which is stupid. I mean, like, even if you don't believe it, why even say it?
Why not?
Exactly. Well, I would never say it. But she goes into the bathroom and says it.
Bloody Mary.
Don't. Oh my.
Bloody Mary.
Oh, you're not in front of a mirror. Thank God.
There's a reflective glass surface there.
Oh, I have so many secrets.
They had to cover up all the monitors and stuff. I'm surrounded by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 monitors right now.
I have so many secrets. I'm totally gonna die.
You're gonna die.
Yeah.
Please. I should. some vengeful spirit should have got me a long time ago.
So she's playing around. She's mucking around, and then she hangs up the phone with Jill, and of course she gets murdered.
Yep.
Because so now the MO of this Bloody Mary turns out that when you say Bloody Mary into the mirror 3 times, she then finds out your deepest, darkest secret. And if you actually ended up hurting somebody because of this secret,
if you have a secret where someone died, she doesn't kill the person who summoned her necessarily. This Bloody Mary kills someone in the vicinity who has a secret where someone died.
Yeah. So turns out that Charlie actually
not Charlie, Jill.
No. Jill is the one that's the blonde.
Jill is the dead one.
Jill is the dead one?
Jill is the dead one.
You're right. So Jill, turns out that Jill is responsible for a hit and run where she killed Gary Bryman.
An 8-year-old boy.
Yeah, an 8-year-old boy.
Way to go, Jill.
And
Jesus.
Yeah. That's pretty rough.
Like, that's... yeah.
I had a hit and run incident.
What?
My cousin. We were in the car with my cousin, and we were driving to my house really late at night, and it must have been like 2, 3 in the morning. And he's in his Camaro, and he's fucking hauling ass because he's late getting back to his house too. Mm-hmm. So he's dropping me off, and he turns the corner really quick, and we hear a thud, boom, boom. And I said, "What was that?" And he's like, it don't matter. We're going or taking off. So I go and turn around, and it was
No.
a palm tree.
Oh, thank God.
It was a palm tree on the road. But I said, dude, that was a palm tree. But what if it was a person you just taking off? He's like, yup, just taking off. I'm like, what an asshole.
Oh.
Like that was my experience. And I was like, because that's like life ruining.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand why people take off on hit and runs because it will fuck you over. It will ruin your life, especially if it was your fault. You're driving recklessly or speeding or not paying attention. But yeah.
Well, I don't know. I hear a lot about hit and runs. I don't hear a lot about hit and stayed.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I guess if your car sometimes, once you hit something, your car can't move, or if a lot of people see you. But typically, if it's in the middle of the night, you have more of a chance of people like taking off on you.
Look, no, hit and run, bad. If you hit something, stay.
No, stay for sure.
Oh
stay
my God.
for sure.
Although it wasn't really a hit and run type thing. So I hate parking garages. I'm really bad at them. I always end up hitting a pole or scraping along something. Like my car gets destroyed. Well, I was in a really awkward, overcrowded parking garage that had teeny tiny little spaces, and the only space that was available was on an incline, like freaking 45-degree angle incline. And it was right next to a pole and a huge SUV. And it was the only space available. So I tried to park in it, and I scraped the car next to me. And I was like, fuck. But I was late for something. So I left a note, like you're supposed to. I actually left a note, and I went and I did my thing. And then
did you like scribble your phone number like it's 7773?
No, I think from what I remember it was pretty legible. So I went to my event or whatever. Like 2-3 hours later, I come back. Car still parked next to me. My note is still there, and I've calmed down. And I'm like, I don't need this shit. So I took my note off the car. I'm like, I took my note off the car and left.
Bloody Mary's gonna key your car later.
Oh God, it would be fine. My car is pretty beat up.
This is a show where we reveal secrets.
I really shouldn't be revealing that.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a statute of limitations has run out on that. It was a long time ago.
So they have no leads, and Sam and Dean convince Charlie to let them in Jill's room and do some exploration, where they find, with a black light, the name of Gary Bryman.
There's a hidden message on the back of her mirror, and written in, I don't know, glow-in-the-dark paint.
She grabbed her glow-in-the-dark paint, and I was trying to figure out what she was writing. That obviously,
Bloody Mary was writing.
Actually, you know what? It could have been blood.
Yeah.
She could have written in blood, and they could have cleaned.
Dried blood shows up in a.
Yeah, they could have cleaned it off afterwards. But then again, any detective would be like, there's a name written here after they clean her up.
They didn't notice because Sam had to tear off the back of the mirror.
Oh, that's what it was?
Yeah, there's backing, like a paper, that thick brown, heavy paper.
But what in the world would make you think to tear that out? I guess maybe they have.
It's a Sam thing.
They have that hunter intuition, maybe.
Okay.
Well, so the next thing is that they then, seeing as that this led them to a name, they go back to Donna and try to ask her some more questions about her dad.
They find a name on the back of his mirror,
which was Donna. Well, not Donna. No. It was
Linda.
Linda Shoemaker.
Yeah, his wife, Donna's mom.
And they questioned Donna about it, and they ask her, what happened to your mom? And she says that her mom OD'd on pills, and not to ask any more questions. That's it, done. So obviously there's some suspicion going on there. And
we never find out through the episode exactly, obviously he did something to kill his wife.
Or maybe something to drive her to kill herself.
Kill herself or something like that. But we never really explored that. I was a little sad.
I thought Donna was going to die for sure.
Really?
Yeah, well, I thought maybe she knew something about the murder or something what her dad did in order to make her mom kill herself, and that was her big secret. Well.
Spoiler alert, she doesn't.
Or what?
Spoiler alert, she doesn't.
Oh. So, the other thing that I didn't understand was the whole traveling ability that she had.
Yeah,
through the
Bloody
mirrors.
Mary can pass through mirrors.
Yeah, she was going back and forth.
She can just pop up in any mirror in the town of Toledo.
Say what?
She can just pop up in any mirror in the town of Toledo.
I mean, but you had to say Bloody Mary 3 times in order for that to work, though. Right?
Right, and then she disappears. She kills somebody, and then she disappears until she's summoned again.
Yeah,
I
so
don't know. The rules on this Bloody Mary are weird.
so all after doing all their research, they end up having they start doing a nationwide search on the name, and they discover the fact that she was her name was Mary Worthington, this actual Bloody Mary, and she was killed by Trevor Sampson, which was, I guess, one of her, like, a lover of some sort.
It was her lover. He was married. They were having an affair.
Yes.
Forbidden.
So
And she was going to threaten to tell his wife.
yeah, you don't do that.
Mm-mm.
No, keep that shit quiet. You know what you're getting into.
Yep.
Don't spoil the fun.
All right. All you hussies on Ashley Madison, keep your lips zipped.
Yep. If not, you want to end up with your eyes cut out.
Yeah, he cut out her eyes.
Because that's like some sick shit. I mean, one thing is
That's a
killing
weird way to
somebody.
murder somebody. Like, even if you are a doctor, like, cutting their eyes out, like, maybe I could understand, oh, I was going to tell your wife I'll cut out your tongue.
Or slit your throat.
Yeah, like, I understand his motivation for the killing. I don't understand the eye thing.
I don't either.
Why cut out the eyes?
And it's so messy.
But it apparently was done with surgical precision. Like, did you knock her unconscious beforehand? Because if somebody was gouging out my eyes, I'd probably struggle a little bit,
Yeah.
and your cuts wouldn't be that clean.
No, it must have been afterwards. I mean, and on top of that, like, did the guy bring his, like, little medical equipment with him to do the surgery afterwards? Like, what's he doing
it was.
with?
I feel like this was back in the day.
Mm.
Like, this
Much-
was,
the
a couple hundred years ago.
Well, they find that the detective that told them the story of kind of what
oh,
happened
that's
with
right.
her.
If the detective who investigated that murder is still alive, it wasn't that long ago, was it?
No, he was an older guy, so it maybe could have been 30-something years ago.
But not long enough ago that all the doctors would be traveling with their little bag. Okay, no, I've got no explanation for it.
He was just
Sorry, I was trying to
fucking
insert logic into Supernatural.
He was just
My mistake.
a sick dude. But when they discover the way she died, the detective that was on the case showed them a picture of a mirror that she was next to, and she was trying to write the name of her killer, which the detective pieced two and two together, but didn't really have enough proof or evidence to convict.
So Mary was still alive after her eyes were cut out.
Yeah. Now that you're
So she
saying
couldn't
that,
see what she was doing. Was she blindly trying to write his name in the mirror in blood?
yeah.
But so she was definitely alive when he cut her eyes out, and she didn't die immediately from that blood loss and shock. I'm
Nope.
sorry, medically, I'm just not buying any of this. It's really bugging me now. It wasn't bugging me watching it, but now talking about it, I'm like, what the hell? Makes no sense.
They find out that they figure that the mirror is the connection, the thing that she's still connected to, because her body was cremated.
Yeah, she was cremated. There are no bones to salt and burn, but
'cause-
her spirit is attached to the mirror.
Yeah, because that's the easy way to deal with a ghost or vengeful spirit or whatever, is to go there, dig up the body, cremate it, and salt and cremate it, and you're done. But once they find out that that's already been done, then it's a whole different ballgame. It becomes a much more difficult process after that, because we were watching the episode together, and I was like, oh fuck, she's already been cremated. That means this is going to be a hard one. This is going to take some work.
Well, it's going to be a hard one when they find out who the ghost is only halfway through the episode. You're like, it ain't going to be easy.
Yeah, because then they try finding the mirror, and the mirror's gone. They sold it off to some antique shop, and they're like,
yeah, well, the reason I kept thinking it was that Mary's murder had happened a long time ago is because they kept saying, oh, it was in the family forever up until a week ago. And I'm like, okay, in the family for what, 20 years? Like,
well,
okay.
Charlie, being the inquisitive little girl as she is, decides that she's going to go confront Donna about the murder of the death of her father, and
their friend Jill, which the death of the dad was weird as all hell. Medically, never seen anything like that. But then when your friend dies the exact same way a couple days later,
right?
Weird shit's going on, Donna. Like, get with the program. Something's happening
So
here.
she's telling her, hey, there might be something going on. You should definitely watch out. And don't say Bloody Mary. Okay, well, I'll just do the complete opposite of what you're saying and say Bloody Mary into the mirror.
To be honest, I'd pull a Donna. I'd be like, man, shut your mouth. Watch. I'll do it.
Yeah, I could.
But that's how I get in trouble all the time. People tell me, don't do something. And I'll be like, shut up. I'm going to do it if I want.
I totally see you doing that too. So she says
that's how I'll die one day.
And I'm thinking as I'm watching it that, Donna's fucked. She's dead. But it turns out that Charlie's the one that has a little secret that she's hiding.
Maybe that's why once they figured out someone with a secret dies, that's why she immediately was like, I'll never say it.
But do you think she felt like that was really a secret that I guess if she felt that it was her fault that he died, that it was
Yeah.
a secret, but
Charlie had a boyfriend who scared her sometimes. So he was slightly abusive, but she broke up with him and he got really clingy and said, if you leave right now, I'll kill myself. And she said, go ahead. And then he did. And she's always felt guilty about it.
yeah, and once she leaves that bathroom, she's then being followed by it's very Ringish, like from the movie The
Yeah.
Ring. It has that feel of like the wet hair, the white outfit, very creepy, very scary.
Yeah, and showing up in mirrors and in glass, like she in the reflection in Charlie's teacher's eyeglasses.
And she's obviously fucking freaking the fuck out.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I would.
that actress was really good. Like
did a
she
good
was
job.
having a meltdown, and it was really good.
And she did have that sexy CW girl look going on.
Yeah, yeah.
They
It was
always had
almost like so many of these scenes were like girls alone in a room with a mirror, taking their clothes
In their
off
panties, yeah.
and like on the phone whispering, "I'm gonna do it right now." Bloody Mary. Like, what the? I'm like, whoa, porn. Like, slow down here.
That was actually pretty good. You should keep going with that for a little while.
I'm going to stop. Don't be creepy.
So she calls Sam and Dean freaking out, saying, this girl said it in front of me, and now I'm seeing Bloody Mary. You guys need to help me. Get the fuck over here right now.
Yeah.
So they get over there, and they decide to cover all the mirrors in her room, which she has a ton of mirrors too in her room.
Right. I'm like, you have in one bedroom, we're covering 13 things.
Well,
Like,
that would be the first thing I would do, though, if I was in that situation. I would destroy every mirror in my house.
that's bad luck, dude.
Well, at this point, it's gonna have bad luck, or you're gonna be dead.
Well,
Or
saying.
or I guess no, don't cover them up, or because I see spirits having the power to like take off a sheet off of a mirror, and if you put them face down to the ground, I feel like then the spirit would like push up out of it and sneak out of it. You have to break them. You can't get or get them out of your
but
house.
see, then I see just shards of glass and then the spirit rising up from a little shard of glass.
Yeah, you know
Shard
what?
of
You're
mirror.
true. Or you just throw them outside. Get them out of your house. But they decide that the only way to kill Bloody Mary is to actually summon her, trap her in a mirror, and then
in the original mirror that she
Right.
died in front of, which they track down to an antique shop.
right. Well, where they get caught in another lie.
Well, first of all, they walk into this antique shop, and it's like, I was expecting an antique shop, antiques, but apparently it's just 500 freaking mirrors.
Yeah.
Like, it's an antique mirror shop. Like, what the hell? I've been to antique shops. They have some mirrors, yes, but it's not only mirrors. But this damn warehouse that they walk into is only mirrors. I'm really getting annoyed by the number of mirrors in this episode.
Well, and then Sam volunteers also to be the guinea pig,
The one with a secret where somebody died.
which turns out later on that he had visions prior
Right.
to
He
Jess
didn't-
being
Like,
killed.
we thought he just felt responsible because, this supernatural stuff, he never told Jess about it and she died. But it turns out that he had dreams and visions of her dying exactly that way for days and days before Dean showed up.
Which again, is that part of his in future episodes you find out that he has some sort of he has psychic abilities and powers.
Yeah,
is
he
that
has
part of
visions.
his thing?
I think so.
Because I believe from the story that he was being fed, or in that scene where he originally his mother gets
Right,
killed.
in the very beginning when he was 6
like
months old.
given
when
like a drop
Mary
of
was
like the
killed.
demon's blood.
Yep, yellow-eyed demon
Right.
gave him a drop of demon blood, and that's giving him visions and stuff like that.
Yeah, give him some.
So, spoiler alerts for a couple seasons to come, guys. Again, sorry about that.
Yeah, so it's a rewatch. So we hopefully that you've already seen up to at least where we're at season 11, at the end of season 11. But
Yeah, we hope you've seen the last 500 episodes. Sorry, we spoil so much of it. I
Yeah.
just don't know how to control myself, though. I don't know how to not reference stuff that I've seen.
so he summons the demon, and Dean's kind of outside dealing with the cops, which he lied to about being the son of the
I'm the
Japanese shop
I'm
owner.
the son of the owner. You're Mr. Hiro Misha's son? Like, I forget what his name was. But I'm like, Dean is really bad. And then his face immediately gives away that he's clearly lying. Like, he does not have a good poker face. How did he win all that money from poker that they bribed the morgue guy with?
Most likely cheating.
Like, he's so bad at this in the early seasons. It's awful.
Yeah, so Sam is then confronted by his evil self telling him that it is his fault that Jess died. and then Dean comes to the rescue, breaks the mirror, and you think that's okay, it's all over.
Mm-hmm.
But no, then you get the creepy crawl out of the mirror.
Yeah.
The creepy crawl that's kind of like jumpy and kind of
like very like a movie frame that jumps. Like I don't know.
It was a good.
Yeah.
It was well done. I liked it.
It was good.
I enjoyed it. It was very scary.
Very
creepy. The Ring. Have you ever seen any of the Ring movies?
Nope. I don't watch any horror movies.
No?
I don't like them. I think I saw the Blair Witch Project back when it first came out, but that's about it.
See, I'm a big horror guy, and The Ring was very
I
good.
never watch any of them.
You know, a movie is good when it changes like the way you live your daily life, where I can no longer like I don't want to watch anything on VHS. I don't want to watch anything like the snow on the
Static
TVs.
on a TV.
Cannot do any of that. That's from Poltergeist. Can't watch anything like that. Dolls creep me out from Chucky.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Dolls I just find creepy.
I always had trouble going to sleep after I watch Nightmare on Elm Street.
Mm-hmm.
Movies are great when they affect your daily life.
Yeah.
You know, and I think The Ring was one of those things where now, or you see things that kind of remind you of, and you're like, oh, that's freaky. So and you called this one because you kind of remembered this episode a little bit.
Yeah, I started for some reason this episode stuck with me. I haven't seen it in 10 years or 9 or 10 years or something. But as it was going, I was remembering things just before they happened. So I'm like, for some reason, this episode stuck in my mind. I didn't realize it had. Because
I didn't think about the fact that, because typically Sam and Dean, they've been, at least in the later episodes, they've been always get saved by somebody. They can never seem to take out the bad guy themselves. When they're in a pinch and they're in trouble, they always get saved by somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's the most unlikely person that you could think of. It's the old lady or the kid that ends up saving them at the end. But this one, they're by themselves. There's nobody's going to save them. They're on the floor. I'm like, oh, shit, they're going to get taken out here. And in my mind, obviously, I know that's not going to happen because 11 seasons later. But how are they going to get this one? And then the Dean pulls out the mirror. And I was like, oh, that's a good little trick.
Turns the mirror on herself. And all of a sudden, Bloody Mary's making herself die, and her eyes melt inside her head because she's killed all of these people through her mirror possession.
Which,
I guess.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty cool idea, and I always critique the death of the bad guy, and this one was kind of lame. She melted into a pool of blood.
It was weird. She melted, and then, she was melting, and then halfway through the melting, turned into breaking glass, and it was just shards of glass and mirror falling down on the ground. I'm like, that was weird.
Yeah, so that was a C in my book of deaths. So now we're seeing how the deaths kind of getting shittier as we go along, because it started off really good in the pilot.
The pilot, you have a long time
right,
to
you
put
were saying
stuff
that
together.
Before, yeah.
You have weeks and weeks to shoot the pilot. These episodes you're shooting in 8 days now because you're on a schedule.
Yeah, no, you definitely see the difference in the time they took to make these monsters kaput. So we finished the scene, which the thing I also feel bad for is the store owner when he gets to work the next day and he sees all his shit destroyed.
Yeah. Sam and Dean leave so much damage in their wake.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up, man, because that guy had nothing to do with anything, and his whole store got destroyed.
Yep.
And he's gonna have some cleanup.
A lot of insurance paperwork to fill out.
What happened? But at least the cops kind of saw intruders come in.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, the cops got punched out by Dean. Nice going, Dean.
Yeah. What a shitty cops to get caught by a.
That's assault.
Yeah.
You're gonna be in trouble, dude.
Well, those shitty cops deserve it. They got taken out by one dude with one right hand. I mean, shit, he must have a pretty good right hook, though.
Yeah. Well, he's been fighting his whole life.
Yeah. So we find out, or at the end, as they're driving away, Sam does not want to tell Dean his secret or whatever it was. So this might be the beginning, because in the beginning, or episode 1, 2, they kind of were talking about their feelings, talking about what was going on. I was like, wow, this is not their norm.
This is not how we remember them.
Yeah, this is not their norm. So this is, I guess, the start of Sam keeping secrets from Dean.
Right.
But what's the big deal of telling this secret? I mean, is Dean going to think that there's something weird about Sam, that he had visions? What's the point of keeping this secret? I know he says he wanted to keep some things to himself, but this is
I don't know, because I always kept getting the feeling like throughout this episode, I felt like Dean was like, "Oh, you're having nightmares every night." Like he should have gotten over it by now. Bad things happen. Like, dude, this is not the life that I wanted. I went away so bad things didn't happen, and it hasn't been that long. And the love of my life died right on top of me with her blood dripping on me, just like my mother did when I was a baby. Like, yeah, I'm gonna have nightmares about that.
So you think he doesn't want to mention it or talk about it because I
don't know.
Dean's going to hold it over him the entire time?
I think he's half ashamed, thinking that Dean would judge him or think something was wrong with him. I think he's half, not trusting Dean because Dean thinks he should be over it. I don't know. There's probably a lot of motivations behind it, but I kind of understand it.
So as they're driving,
he feels guilty still.
Yeah. Well, they're driving away, and then Sam sees a vision of Jess on the street, clean, not on fire, on a nice, beautiful white gown. What did that mean to you? What did you take from that?
I don't know. The white gown, that's the nightgown she died in.
Was she wearing a nightgown? She was.
Yeah, when she was on the ceiling. I remember it's weird because the night that Dean came in to wake them up, she was sleeping like I think most girls sleep in nowadays in gym shorts and a t-shirt type thing. But yeah, she was wearing a flowy nightgown when she was attached to the ceiling.
Well, what I got from that was, one, that she is okay. She is not in hell. Two, that it's kind of his forgiveness, like almost like her spirit telling him it's okay. It's not your fault. I'm not in pain. I'm not being tortured. I'm not the things that the last demon that was in the plane told him that she was burning in hell. It's not true.
I didn't take the thing.
I felt like it was like, I'm okay, I'm good. I
didn't take it as a reassuring. I took it as it's your fault and we're coming for you. Like I took it as I took it as a bad presence.
Because then, if in my head, if that was the case, that she would be.
I took it as hey, the person you killed is haunting you.
No, I didn't take it
like the heart beating where you can see the blood on your hands. Out, damn spot, out.
Well, I think she would have more blood or fire on her, or a burnt look, or a more distressed, evil look. She looked angelic almost.
Yeah,
very nice.
I took it as a not. It didn't feel good. It felt Sam is guilty.
That's a good question. Well, that's a good question for our audience. Do you think that scene was a good scene, or a good omen, or a bad omen of things to come? That was the end of the episode. I guess next episode we are going to be watching Skin.
Skin, yeah. This is the first one where we get, what are they called? Are they changelings? Whatever that.
Skinwalkers?
I don't know. I forget what it's called. Like I remember the episode because they have to go back because it's Sam's friend from college back when we're still acknowledging that Sam had a life.
Well,
but I remember it vaguely. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, we're going to be watching that one, and remember, please give us your Ouija board stories.
Yes, send us your Ouija board stories. You can contact us at getthesaltpod@hotmail.com. We're on Facebook and Twitter as @getthesaltpod. You can subscribe to us on YouTube or iTunes. Please rate and review.
Also, if you're not already following, get the Winchester fam on Twitter and on Facebook. Or you could go to the WinchesterFamilyBusiness.com. They have really great episode guides with articles, videos, and other cool stuff to look at. So be sure to go over there. And I guess we'll catch you on the flip.
Bye.